What next for Arsenal after Vinicius Jr. chooses Real Madrid? Arsenal fans, the Vinicius Jr. dream is over. For weeks, Arsenal were being linked with one of the biggest names in world football, Vinicius Jr., a player who has won the Champions League with Real Madrid, a player who has scored in a Champions League final, a player who has developed from a teenage prospect into one of the most dangerous wingers in world football. And Arsenal wanted him. But now, Vinicius has chosen Real Madrid. A new long-term agreement is in place, reportedly taking him all the way to 2032. So here is the question nobody should avoid. What does Arsenal do now? Because this is where the debate gets interesting. Was Vinicius the missing piece? Or was Arsenal chasing a superstar when what they actually needed was a different type of player? Let's go back to the beginning. Arsenal's interest made footballing sense. Vinicius is exactly the kind of player who can destroy a defensive structure. He can carry the ball. He can attack space. He can beat defenders one-on-one. And most importantly, he can create something out of absolutely nothing. That is the type of player every elite team wants. And imagine him in an Arsenal attack. Vinicius on one side, Bukayo Saka on the other, and a world-class striker through the middle. That would have been terrifying. But there was always one massive problem. Real Madrid. Vinicius has already become one of the faces of the club. And despite all the speculation, he has previously made it clear that he wanted to stay in Madrid. So Arsenal were always fighting against something bigger than money. They were fighting against the player's attachment to Real Madrid. And now Madrid have won that battle. But here is where I disagree with some Arsenal fans. I don't think Arsenal should panic. In fact, this could be the moment Arsenal show whether they have really changed as a club, because the biggest mistake Arsenal could make now would be trying to replace Vinicius with another Vinicius. They don't need another superstar just because they missed one. They need the right superstar, and that is a completely different conversation. Look at the Arsenal squad. The club already invested heavily in attacking and midfield options in the previous summer. Victor Gyökeres was brought in to add a genuine goal threat. Noni Madueke added another attacking option. Eberechi Eze added creativity and technical quality. And Martin Zubimendi strengthened the midfield. So Arsenal aren't starting from zero. They are starting from a position of strength. That means the next move has to be strategic. And this brings us to the Bruno Guimaraes debate. If Arsenal really can complete that deal, then losing Vinicius might not be the disaster people think it is, because Bruno gives Arsenal something completely different. He gives them control, aggression, press resistance, passing ability, and experience in the Premier League. Imagine a midfield containing Declan Rice, Martin Zubimendi, and Bruno Guimaraes. That isn't just depth, that is serious midfield control. But here's the controversial question. Would you rather have Vinicius Jr. or Bruno Guimaraes plus another quality attacker? Because that is where Arsenal fans might disagree. And let's be honest, Vinicius choosing Real Madrid isn't embarrassing for Arsenal. You're talking about Real Madrid, one of the biggest clubs in football history. And this is where I want to hear from Arsenal fans. Forget the emotions, forget the transfer hype, forget the edits. If Vinicius is no longer available, what should Arsenal do next? Should they go all in for another world-class winger? Should they strengthen another position entirely? Or should Arsenal stop chasing superstars and trust the squad they've already built? Because there is one thing we know for sure. Arsenal are no longer building for the future. They are building to win now. And every major transfer decision from this point forward has to be judged by one question. Does this move make Arsenal more likely to win trophies? That's the real debate. Vinicius is staying in Madrid. The dream is over. Now, let's see what Arsenal do next. Drop your opinion in the comments. If you were running Arsenal, who would you sign next? And subscribe to our channel for more football news, transfer debates, and football content.